So we're gonna take a very quick look at a resume. If you observed carefully, I think you can identify this is a resume belong to one of our association officers. And you can just quickly browse like the sections included in the resume, like educational work experience, leadership honors, actuary exams for our majoring in actuarial science, and also project and research experiences, including some case study competitions, which I believe most juniors and seniors might be familiar with. And freshmen, for those freshmen and sophomore, if you guys are not familiar with those competitions, there are plenty of opportunities for you to participate in those competitions, so that you can you can experience what is a case study. And also there are some key skills you can list in the resume. And also it is optional to list your completed coursework and your hobbies or some other languages you learned. Yeah, and don't forget to include your email, phone address, LinkedIn, other things you want the employers to know about you at the top, and also your name at the top as well. So this is our agenda today. First, we're gonna get a quick outline and review about what should we do before we actually build our body part of the resume. And then we'll talk about what should we do and we should not do in our resume. And also I will give us some sample resumes from our sophomore and junior standing, so that you guys can understand and see like what's the difference between them as your class standing when goes up. And also we will have resume critique. I think it will be held by professors Janet Duncan and Dr. Raya Feldman, and I'll announce those details lately. And also the next part is how to submit your resume, since we have an upcoming career fair. So all of you guys, including freshmen and sophomore, we encourage you to submit your resume to the website, which I will include later. And it's a great opportunity to meet with different employers, especially in insurance companies, where you can learn about what they do and if this is really like the area or field you're really interested in. So yeah, don't miss the opportunity. And the last, we have the Q&A part. And also here, I want to stress one thing, which is this resume workshop will only focus on job and internship application. So if you want to learn more about graduate school application, this is not a workshop. I think we might be able to hold another workshop later, but this workshop is only going to focus in on job and internship application only. Please remember that. And next, we're going to get started on your resume. So the first thing I list in this slide is research the company and the position you're applying, because it's very important to understand the background of companies, employers, and also possible internships. So learning a quick background can provide, can motivate you or inspire you to raise questions when you're facing them, or having a career fair face-to-face. So the second thing is make a list of your job, internships, school projects, etc. I'm not gonna read all of them. And the most important thing is that are related to the position you're applying, and do not overload, such as if you're applying for data science or you're applying for actuarial jobs, please list all of your experiences related to insurance, or you can list some experiences related to data analytics, because that's helpful to complete some of the insurance projects. And what I mean do not overload is do not put everything you have on your resume, because that you won't have enough space to explain them, and not all of them are necessary in your resume. And I will expand on that later. And also you need to select a clean and organized format. When I mean that, I usually mean choose the proper font and size, and don't make the font too small, since you have to squeeze all the information in one page or 2 page. So don't do that. Wisely select your format is a very important thing in your resume. And also don't forget to put your contact information, including email, phone number, LinkedIn, or handshake if possible, and your expected graduation date on the top, because the employers pay a lot of attention to those information. And also, after completing previous steps, you're ready to build the body of your resume. Yeah, so those preparation jobs are very important, or I can say they are as the same important as the body of your resume. So if you miss one of those, it is likely that your resume won't be carefully reviewed by the employers. So yeah. And here we go. What you should do in your resume. So before I start explaining the list, I want to say that the tips that I provide in the slide are summarized by my peers and my alumni and my friends. So if you think those tips are useful, you can take them and put them in your resume. But if you think they are not beneficial to build your resume, you can just ignore them. So this is not like this is not your Bible. So take it wisely. And if you don't agree with me at some point, you can definitely ask questions or raise some objections at the end of this presentation. Okay, so here we go. The first point is, it is recommended, not mandatory, to write a summary at the beginning, introducing your career objectives, along with the top academic accomplishments and skills you own. So I think this is like a thing that is popular recently. Like many of my friends, including myself, haven't included a very comprehensive summary at the top of my resume, and we still need to work more on that. And I also want to mention that I don't have an example in my hand right now, but if you guys are interested, you can just search online, summary of resume in different fields like computers, things. So yeah, if in the future workshop, we will definitely have a summary coming out from a student majoring in actuarial science. So yeah, be expecting that. And also it's very important to list your top academic accomplishments, and it's academic, not anything else. Like if you're very good at gaming, you're very good at hunting, fishing, don't put those on your resume. Okay, that's not academic. Of course, that shows your various abilities, but don't do that. And also mark your sections for a better reading experience. As you guys can see, I gave a very quick look at one sample resume at the beginning of this presentation. So if you mark your section clearly and obviously, like it is definitely beneficial for the hiring managers to have a better reading experiences. And also put your work history in the proper order. When I mean like a proper order, I mean, you can either put in a timeline, like from newest to oldest, or you can put your work experiences in like importance or its relation to the position you're applying. Like if you're applying for actuarial jobs, you must put your insurance company internship at the top, right? So yeah, that's what I mean when I say put your work history in the proper order. Like if you like just randomly put those work history, like the employers might think you're not paying a lot of attention to your resume. So that's not a very good thing. And also, don't forget to describe your duties of working experiences specifically and concisely, with no more than four bullet points each, usually. So a lot of my friends and including myself have made mistakes like just quickly list our working experiences without saying like what we actually did in those like internships, so that like it's like we haven't contributed a lot of things to those internship experiences. So don't let the employers have that misconception. Please put those work experiences specifically and concisely. And when I say 4 bullet points, it's not like a standard, or it's not like a rule. You can definitely write more than that, but it's not recommended since it will take much of your space in the resume. But also you can be creative. You can write 3 bullet points parallel to each other and make the space more organized, and that's your choice. And the last thing I want to emphasize is always proofread. Like please don't make any spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes, because I wouldn't want to stress on that more enough. Like I can't stress that thing enough, because if you made any of those mistakes, I think it's 99% your resume just passed. Like your resume is have no more hope of getting into like a more deeper view from the hiring managers. So always proofread. And next thing I want to talk about is what you should not do in your resume. So don't ever leave out your GPA, because if you leave out a GPA, that means you're not confident about GPA, or you're hiding something about your academic progress. So if you mostly when you're applying for internships in insurance companies, it's mostly the GPA requirement is 3.0 above. So like don't be scared of putting your GPA onto the resume. Like even you're below like the GPA, you must still put your GPA on your resume. And you don't have to worry too much about it, because you have other experiences to enrich the contents of your resume, right? GPA is not the only thing that determines whether you can get the job or not. And also don't put unreal information. Like if you are in an internship and you only did data entries, don't say you do data analysis, because the hiring managers may find a way to contact your former employers and check with the information you put on your resume. So don't put on real information on your resume. That's also very important. And the next thing is do not list skills without giving specifics. I've already briefly mentioned that before. Like plain says, I can do Excel, Python, R without further explanation. Like what can you do with Python? What can you do with Excel? Can you only like type in numbers, type in codes without any actual meanings? So you have to give out explanations of what you would do with those languages. Like I use Python to do data cleansing, or use R to do data visualization. Just examples, just don't put plainly gives out like I can do something and without giving specifics. And also don't put a bunch of your high school and middle school awards or achievements. Now, here's a very important thing as well, because I understand like many students don't have much time to participate in competitions like mathematical modeling or other consulting competitions. So they might think like, oh, I have a lot of high school awards or achievements. Can I put those on the resume to fill in the blank under the achievements and awards section? So my recommendation is don't do that. If you have to, just pick the top academic achievements or awards you have in your high school, and best is in your senior year, because that's the one that can closely reflected your progress. Otherwise, if it gets too old, it might not be able to reflect like what you can do right now. And the last thing I want to say is don't exceed 1 page in your resume, and in most circumstances, put no more 2 pages, because that's kind of like a rule in submitting your resume among all of the industry and the companies. So if you're becoming a graduate student, you might find it hard to like squeeze all the information in 1 page. So 2 pages are acceptable, and we will talk about that in future workshops, maybe, perhaps, yeah. So next, we're gonna look at some sample resumes, including the one I just showed at the beginning. So first, we're going to look at a very simple one, which I think is composed by a sophomore. So as you can see, at the top of the resume, there's names, there's contact information, including address, emails, telephone, and also it is recommended to put your LinkedIn link at the top. So don't forget that. And then she include education, which is also including the graduation date, and also for our actuarial science major students, you can put your actuarial exams, like when did you pass, what's the subject, and does it fulfill your VE. So yeah, you can put those on your resume, definitely. And also then she includes her work experiences, like McDonald's ice cream, Pay Junction, UCB summer transitions, Yeah, of course, it might be a little bit arguable to put McDonald's ice cream there because it says serve customers and answer customer question about the ice cream, right? Because unless you're applying for an ice cream job, you're not that job experience is not gonna help you to boost your capabilities of the position you're applying, right? So that is not recommended. And on the next section is relevant coursework. And of course, you can include that in your resume if you feel necessary. But another good way is to include the knowledge in those coursework and include them in like your work experiences, like connect them to what you learn in the coursework. Like you use those you use those knowledge to conquer some difficulties you met, which is which was inspired by your experiences in your college courses. So that's one way to include it. And also he talked about computer experiences to include packages, Python, C++. Now this is one point I just mentioned, is that don't do that if you are not list any information more in later section or previous section, because yes, you do not just plainly says you can do that, because how can the employers know you can do that? You can say, oh, I can build a rock ship, I can build a spaceship. But if you don't have experiences or coursework to support that, then it's useless to put on your resume. So that's very important. And also awards and leadership. Yeah, UCSB honor students is, I believe, a lot of students have that. And please put on your resumes as well. And also, if you're one of the members, and don't forget to put your UCSB Actuary Association members, that's also a good leadership experience if applicable if you're becoming an officer. And also in the next section is activities and hobbies and languages. Of course, you can just write anything you feel like you can boost your images in front of the higher managers, see, oh, you're a very various developing students. So yeah, definitely don't hide don't be shy to share your hobbies or your languages or your other skills like piano kind of thing. Yeah. So this is the next resume. As you can see, there are more contents, obviously, because this, I think, is coming from senior students. And I think this student has already passed a lot of actuary exams, including FMC. And also, I'm not gonna repeat the sections before. I'm gonna focus my attention on his work experiences, because as we can see, the student had an actual intern from June 27 to August 2017. So this is like absolutely necessary to put on your resume, because it is directly reflecting you are interested, not only interested in the field of actuarial science, but also you have an interest experiences to put your knowledge into real applications, right? And also, I think the bullet points of describing your duties in your experiences is very nicely presented. Yeah. And the next section is computer skills and analysis projects, research experiences, the same as before, including this student also includes his computer languages and packages like Python, R, and something like that. But also it is not recommended again, but if you are able to present your evidence like you indeed use those languages or packages to realize some projects, you can mention that, and you can put them in a bullet point. Otherwise, it's not recommended to do so. And he also mentioned he has a time series clocks project, very good, and the research project class, graduate level, predicting modeling healthcare using regression techniques. It's a team project, very good, because it's health in the healthcare, and it's also related to insurance. So yeah, that's very helpful. And next is the relevant coursework. And it's not mandatory to put your coursework on your resume. And there isn't like a rule to say you cannot put your coursework. But yeah, if you're feeling like you don't have enough content in your resume, you can definitely put your relevant coursework on resumes. And the next section is award and leadership, including UC honor students, a leadership award, association member, treasurer, and president of Alpha Phi Omega. That's all very good leadership experiences. So if you have some of them, please don't hesitate to put them on your resume. And the next and the final part is also activities, hobbies, languages. Yeah, you can just put all of your hobbies onto those, like hiking, swimming, board games. Those are all fine. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this resume. And next, we're going to again talk about this resume. So this resume, I think, is a very good resume. Like it's very organized, and those sections are very concise. As from my perspective, of course, you might disagree, but yeah, I think accepting. I apologize for excluding the name because you know. And don't forget to include your contact information, your educational experiences, leadership honors, actuarial exams, and projects research experiences. Yeah, I'm gonna emphasize one more time. If you participated or you are planning to participate in any case studies, please put them on your resume because they are very good experiences, and they're even better if you are able to attain some awards like first place, second place. Yeah. So she also lists computer skills, but it's very concise in one line. That's all very good. It's not like he put it a lot of like put R, Python, SQL in separate bullet points. And completed coursework, yes, it's definitely you're definitely able to put down your resume, and also activities, hobbies, languages. So that's pretty much how we compose our resume currently. But of course, it is encouraged to be creative about your resume, like formatting, either in formatting or putting some sections that I think is beneficial to review your abilities. Yeah, don't hesitate to do that, but be careful. Sometimes being absolutely creative and out of like the general format or general sections that I've just given in those resumes. It is risky to do that, but yeah, I think you guys are able to balance that out, like the amount of creativity in your resume and the amount of like formality in your resume. Okay, so let's go to the resume critique right now. I believe a lot of you guys are concerned about this event. And get your resume reviewed and edited by our experienced Dr. Raya Feldman and Professor Janet Duncan from September 28 to September 20. And their opening time slot are Tuesday and Thursday 3 to 5 p.m. and Tuesday and Wednesday 7 to 5 p.m. respectively. And you must be a member to participate in this event. So if you would like to have your resume revealed, please Venmo $30 to this code and you can scan it. Yeah, I'll present more information on how to be a member later. And on the right part is the CSB official website link that provide the direct link to this event. And also there's a sign up link where you click in and fill in the slot that you're free to chat with your professor. And a confirmation email will be sent out soon by our president as she is working those out as we're progressing this event. So yeah, please especially encourage freshmen, sophomore students to participate in this event because it will get started on your resume, and you can just work on your deficiency in your resume right away. Yeah, so I think this is a very good event for you guys to improve your resume qualities. And I think the last thing I'm gonna mention is how to submit your resume for career fair. As I mentioned before, there's a career fair upcoming, I think in October. So on the left side is website and a link to resume submission. And I use yellow to highlight the thing I want to stress, which is your resume has to be one page only, and it's in PDF format, and it's named as last name dot first name dot resume dot PDF. If your resume doesn't satisfy one of those conditions, you will not be accepted. So please remember that. And also On the right side, it's the important deadline, which is resume submission ends at Sunday, October 3rd, 5 p.m. Pacific Daytime. And there's a special note, like as request from Pacific Life, like only resumes submitted prior to Wednesday, September 29th, 9 p.m. will be delivered to your recruiters. And this is just a special case, and all the other employers are accepting your resume until October 3rd, 5 p.m. Pacific Daytime. And also, late submission will not be accepted. So if you send 1 minute late and you're sending out a complimentary email to say, oh, you forgot something like your technical issues, so don't use them as excuses. So if you want to submit your resume, do that early as possible. Okay, so the final thing is how to contact us. If you want to join us and as our member, please Venmo and scan this code to Venmo to our account. And there's instructions, detailed instructions on our website. You can visit them in your free time. And also I post a picture and screenshot here as you can briefly read them. So we have a Facebook group, we have an Instagram. We also have WeChat for Chinese students or students located in Asia. And also here's our career fair website link and our actuarial association website link. It's all posted on this slide. And one thing I want to mention is that this the slide I used to present today will be posted on our website and be able for you guys to review if you guys want. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for today. So